After a recent eviction, a homeless couple in Denver are having a lot of difficulty finding housing. However, the city of Denver is begging landlords to rent their units at affordable prices to recent border crossers. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an interesting article for you today, and once again, it's coming out of Denver, Colorado. Now, a couple of days ago, I reported how the city of Denver is begging landlords. They're begging landlords to rent their units to these people from other countries who just recently crossed the border and came into the U.S. illegally, okay? And they're begging the landlords to do it at affordable rates. And as I mentioned in that video, there are a lot of people in the U.S. who do not have housing. They can't find affordable housing, okay? People who are homeless, people who are struggling, who have very low income, and yet cities like Denver are focusing all their attention on making sure that these foreigners who don't even live here, aren't even here legally, have housing. Now that seems absolutely ridiculous to me. It should seem ridiculous to everyone here. Now, I'm not a big proponent of socialized systems, right? But knowing that they are in place, my personal belief is that they should be reserved for U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents, and that's it. Illegal aliens should never be eligible for any of this socialized housing or assistance, okay? They should get nothing, absolutely nothing, because they're not here legally, and they shouldn't, be able to leech our money away from us, okay? So I got a story today, and it's coming out of Denver, Colorado, and it's about one of these couples who, a couple of tenants who they faced eviction in the past, right? And now they're living in their car because they can't find any affordable housing. They actually have a housing voucher, some of the socialized rental assistance from the city of Denver, but they can't find anywhere to live. But it's odd to me that the city of Denver, meanwhile, is paying hundreds of millions of dollars to house illegal aliens. So you see what my issue is. You see why I get so upset. You see why I'm angry, okay? This is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And, it is a perfect example of big government who, isn't prioritizing their own citizens. So before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like, subscribe button, maybe leave a comment down below and let me know what you think, okay? So what do you think of this whole situation going on in Denver, Colorado, where they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars to house illegal aliens, okay? Now, I had somebody in my comment section say, hey, I shouldn't call them border crossers. Call them for what they are, illegal aliens, right? I like using the term illegal alien. It is a technical term. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it until about 2 or 3 years ago when all of a sudden, all the people, the progressives, they started crying. They said, it's wrong, it's wrong. Well, you know what? I speak Spanish, okay? The word extranjero means alien. Okay, extranjero, foreigner. Okay, that's all alien means. It doesn't mean that we think the person's from another planet. Goodness, go look it up in the dictionary. The words defined in the dictionary, we're not using it as a offensive term against anybody. And if the person is here illegally, well, guess what? They are an illegal alien. If they are a legal alien, which there are legal aliens here, those are people with green cards, okay? They're permanent residents. They have the right to be here. Goodness, people, they try to change the terminology to confuse people so that they don't know what we're talking about. Well, there is a huge difference between a person with a green card or a person who is here as a non-immigrant who has a student visa. There's a huge difference between those type of people and a person who walked across the border yesterday, climbed through a fence, and said, I'm here, give me my benefits, okay? I have a big problem with those people. So, that's just my personal opinion. You can put your comments, your opinions down in the comment section. I don't delete comments. I let everybody express their opinions. A lot of people said that I am too hard on that group of people. Well, you know what? That's my opinion, and I have a right to it. So anyway, let's get into this article and see what it says. This article is coming from KDVR.com, and it says, past eviction creates challenge for couple in search of new housing. And normally I don't get on the tenant side, okay? I don't talk much about being on the tenant side, right? But, when it comes to this issue where, the people who just crossed the border have easier access to housing than homeless American citizens, that's where I have a problem, okay? So let's see what the article says. A family living in their car is looking for a permanent place to call home, but a past eviction is making it challenging. In Denver, 1 in 3 households is paying more than a third of their income toward housing, according to the city's website. Letitia De La Rosa and her husband told Fox 31 they are currently living out of their car with their dog, Cash, after being evicted in 2022. This is the first time for me to be in this situation, De La Rosa said. It's been so hard. I've made mistakes in my past which I don't feel like it should be held over my head, especially because I'm getting assistance. You're going to be guaranteed rent every month, and they don't even look at that part of it. And, let me just say this right here. Just because the government is providing rental assistance doesn't mean that you are an ideal tenant for the majority of landlords, okay? And my guess is that the reason that you are homeless has more to do with other situations that you have going on in your life than it does with the fact that you are just lower income, okay? Because, in the article it says that you were homeless since 2022 and, you do admit that you have problems. Could it be drug problems? I don't know. Could it be mental health issues? I don't know. But, most people, it doesn't take them well over a year to get back onto their feet and find housing, if they're put into this sort of situation. So the fact that you've been living in your car for over a year with a dog, that kind of tells me that there's more to the story, right? But that's not the situation I'm talking about today. My situation, my problem is that, like I said, I covered an article 2 days ago talking about how, they want to they want landlords to rent their units to illegal aliens at discounted rates, and I think that's ridiculous. Okay, when we have people like this, people, whether you have a substance abuse problem or a mental health problem or not, I think that you deserve housing before somebody who doesn't even live or have a right to be in this country. Past evictions can block some rental applications. With some help from the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless, De La Rosa said they're receiving rental assistance, but with an eviction on their record, the application process has been challenging. We get down to the question, have you ever been evicted from a place within the last 7 years? And unfortunately, the answer is yes. Some of the applications don't even let you proceed after that, De La Rosa said. It is a challenge many Coloradans are facing. A report from Colorado Housing Connects shows evictions are already trending higher than last year. And you know what? The economy isn't as strong as a lot of people think it is, especially for the people on the very low end of the economy. So what we're going to see is evictions going up, and you know what? It's to be expected. Housing costs are going to remain high because they aren't building enough housing. And when you start flooding the country with a bunch of foreigners and then giving those foreigners free money to pay for their rent, well, guess what? It's going to be a lot more expensive for U.S. citizens and, people who were here legally to find housing. Okay? If a landlord knows they can get rental assistance for these recent border crossers, illegal aliens, and or you can rent to a low income person who maybe doesn't have the most regular income from their job, well, they're going to choose to take that government check because at least it's steady. I mean, a lot of landlords are, not all of us. Okay, I personally wouldn't. I don't want to deal with the government anymore. I'm out of the Section 8 business officially now, so I'm not saying I won't get back into it, right? But I will say that I didn't like it. It is certainly not my preference to deal with, the government in terms of who is paying the rent. So, it's an interesting story. Normally my view of this sort of story is, hey, deal with it, talking about these tenants, right? That is why you don't want an eviction on your record. That's why you should always pay your rent, right? And, it's a difficult situation. It's a very difficult situation. As a landlord, I have to look out for my investment first. okay? And if you have a track record of evictions, well, I don't necessarily want to rent to you because I'm putting my, extremely expensive investment at risk. So, it's a interesting topic from multiple angles, okay? And let me know what you think of this whole situation down in the comments, and I'll put a link to this article in the description down below.